Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast Market Rundown with Chip Nellinger. Chip, we had a pretty strong close of the week last week, and Thursday and Friday both had some trade talk there. Trump tweeted out a few things that had to do with all the fun stuff going on with China and kind of what that looked like. And then there's starting to be a little suspicion that the corn price or the corn crop might not be as big as what they thought or what they were anticipating. So pretty good close of the week and probably have a little spillover into the first part of this week.
Yeah, that's right. We just opened the markets here Sunday night here, maybe 10, 12 minutes ago, and they are a little bit higher. So we had a great close. As you mentioned, bean market Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looked like the bottom was falling out and the world was ending, and we're going to zero. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, there's a tweet Thursday morning. President Trump says, hey, I've been talking to the Chinese president. Things are going well. We got more talks scheduled on this G20 meeting. I believe it's on the 20th of November in Argentina. The Chinese president says, the trade war is hurting both parties. We need to come to resolution. So that's you can't get at a higher level than that. We've had several rounds of talks prior, but it's always been lower level people. And you can't get much higher than the president of both those countries, arguably the two most powerful countries in the world. They're going to decide this thing anyway. And the B market took that as a great sign. So we reversed, had a huge rally into the end of the week, drug corn higher as well. Luckily, because we had about the third week in a row of really poor export sales, so corn and beans both. So that was kind of casting a little bit of a negative tone to the market. Without that news, we would have ended on a weak note. But we reversed it, closed higher here to start the day out. We've got the November crop report coming out this week, and that's going to be a big potential market mover as well. We'll get a feel for where yields are. Like you mentioned, there's kind of a thought process that corn yields probably are shrinking a little bit. Differing opinions on bean yields, and I'm kind of in that camp too. I don't know what to expect on beans. You could easily see a little bit of an increase. I could make an argument that due to the wet, long extended harvest here, especially in the Northwest Corn Belt, that we've taken some top end off. So you just don't know what they're going to do on bean yields. So that makes it even more potentially volatile because no one knows what to expect there. So we've got that this week, waiting for some more, China trade news. And we might not get much more of that until, I guess the week of Thanksgiving, 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks away, but it'll be here before you know it. So, that news probably puts a little bit of floor underneath of us. We don't have to sell off probably with that uncertainty of, hey, we could come in here literally this month and have the potential for a China trade deal. So the bean market's not going to fall out of bed with that potential, regardless of what they do with bean yields this week. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting week. Other than that, it was kind of getting to be a little bit depressing because there's just not much going on in the markets right now. I'm trying to finish up harvest and been some rain around, and it's been a frustrating, slow harvest. And usually in a year like this, you don't see yields go up. You see them shave back just a little bit. So that also helps maybe underpin prices just a little bit.
Yeah. So what's happened with the cattle market? It's been pretty volatile here of late, kind of following along with the ups and downs of the stock market. So what happened with them towards the end of the week, and where do you think that's going to head out?
Yeah, again, they try to break the cattle market early in the week, reverse, closed higher. Cash markets are pretty stable here. So the cattle market's holding its own, and we'll see what happens here. I think that, like you said, the stock market sell-off in the month of October didn't do the cattle market any favors, but that's behind us, and the stock market stabilized. So, I think in November, December, we could see some better things in the cash market. I think cattle could go a little bit higher. I've been saying that for a while. Not a lot higher. I'm not talking $20 higher, but $5 to $8 higher should be in the cards here over the next few weeks, and that ought to give us an opportunity to get some hedges in place north of 120. Maybe mid 120s. Producers have to look at that as an opportunity. So I'd be a little bit patient if you're a feedlot guy out there. We probably have some upside here, but you got to keep your finger on the trigger because it's not going to go up forever. And we got to take advantage of that opportunity when it's there. The hog market, that's been a tough market anymore. It's just really volatile. It's hard to trade that market, and there's not a lot of rhyme or reason. So it didn't have a great week, but until this swine fever gets behind us, and it just seems like that continues to be a problem. Every week or every other week, you get another story, and it just is not going away, and if not, even getting a little bit worse. So until you have that, we may not go straight up in hogs, but the breaks will be supported and bought until you get a little better feel that we're behind this swine fever issue in China, and it just doesn't seem like that yet.
Right on. Well, there's just is it raining out there? I watched the radar today. It looked like there's some pretty good rain all the way from Canada to the Gulf Coast. So is there a pretty good rainstorm coming through your area?
We have had some rain off and on. Luckily, in this general part of Illinois, I'd say the middle 2/3 of Illinois, most of the crops are out. You get south of here, southern Illinois, and into Kentucky, Tennessee, most of Kentucky and Arkansas, they've had a real rough grow. A lot of rain. They had more of that. Northern third of Illinois, Wisconsin, and then northwest Corn Belt. There's a lot more crop in the ground. They've had some rain, so it has really been a struggle. It's been a real difficult fall. Right around here locally, central Illinois, most of the crops are out of the field, so we're pretty well done. But it has been rainy, and we had a fair amount of rain today, a little bit yesterday. But it seems like the areas that have crop left to harvest, they just continue about every 5-6 days, get another inch and a half of rain. It's just been a real frustrating grind here, and it's time to be finishing up. We're past Halloween. It's into November, and it's getting to be a little bit of a grind for guys that have a lot of crop left. And there is a fair amount of crop left in the Northwest Corn Belt, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Chip. Well, never a better time to start a plan or have you review a plan. So if they wanted to do that, how would they do that?
Yeah, best way is just call our office, 309-550-7213. We'd love to chat with you and kind of review your plan and give you some advice on where you might be able to improve that.
Right on, Chip. Well, till Tuesday, we'll catch you then, and have a good rest of your weekend and good start to Monday.
Sounds good. Have a good start to the week.
All right. Thanks, Chip.
All right. We'll see you.